Hello and welcome to Red Stain Radio, a Dead by Daylight podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Bryson, and I'm joined by my two lovely co-hosts, Stevie.
Hello.
And Maddie.
Hello.
And we are joined by one special guest, Soysaucesorcerer, aka Luke, as well. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Oh,
how y'all doing?
Yeah, awesome to have you. Yeah, doing good. How are you? For listeners who haven't, who are unaware of you, tell us a little about yourself and your relationship with DVD.
So my name is Luke. I go by Soysaucesorcerer on TikTok and Twitch. I typically only stream once a week, usually on Wednesday nights after 8 p.m. or on Sundays after 8 p.m. I started playing Dead by Daylight back in 2021, that summer. It was like right when they were doing like the Nemesis release. Yeah. I think they just did the 5-year anniversary at that time. Mm-hmm. And I was hooked instantly. And I thought I was going to be the best huntress ever. But, that didn't work out. But
what, we're not still on that? You're not close?
Not even close. Not after I found out who Ralph was. I was like, okay, retired.
Is Resident Evil what brought you in? Is that a chapter that caught your eye, or was it just kind of DBD's been on my radar and I want to jump in?
Well, I knew that I wanted to get into streaming, and then I found somebody on Twitch who was playing Dead by Daylight, and like I had heard about the game before. I never watched gameplay though, so I watched it, and this person was playing Michael Myers, and I was like, "Ooh, okay, this looks cool. I like this." And I was like, "Dang, it's on sale right now." It was on sale for like $15 at the time, and I was like, "Okay, well, it's now or never." So I'm gonna do it, and so glad that I did. So glad.
Yes.
That's a good story.
One of us.
Yeah.
One of us.
Hell yeah!
I feel like a lot of people see
Well,
Michael Myers in game, and they're kind of hooked at that point.
Yep. That's what happened.
Yeah, and now they gutted my boy. They gutted my boy.
And he was removed.
If you don't know anything about DBD and you see somebody playing as Michael Myers, I think it's still as cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you've never seen Michael Myers in a video game.
Yeah, I hadn't.
That's true.
I was intrigued. I was like, oh, this is that one game where you can play a bunch of these different killers, right? And I Googled it, and I was like, yeah, this is awesome.
And now he's getting his own game later this year, so it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. We're super stoked to have you, and we're excited to jump into this update chapter review. It's the last one of the year, so it'll be an interesting discussion, and we're going to have our year 9 review here in a couple weeks because the Blood Moon event is later this week. Actually, the day this airs, it comes out then. So let's jump into some quick announcements. Just a quick reminder: our next community event is this week. Be sure you're in the Discord and RSVP to that. It's a looping and chase boot camp. So if you want to be participating in that, be sure to join the Discord. Link is in the description. Now we're going to jump into some news. Like I said, the Blood Moon event starts Thursday, March 26th. And we have a few details which they released today. I'm going to read through these and I'll kind of get y'all's thoughts because there's some changes from last year. Most perks for survivors and killers are supported on blood gens, asterisk on the most. So perks that aren't supported will be labeled with a new mark. So I'm interested to see what doesn't work on blood gens. My guess is like maybe pain res, surge, things like that, but we'll see. All killer powers will be supported on the blood gen. So if you remember last year, unfortunately, like Pig, if a blood gen popped, Pig's traps just did not activate. So that made Pig maybe even worse. So I'm really sorry about that, Stevie's. But this year,
She was
you could
unplayable. Let's say that.
Yeah. So sad. A nerf to Pig. All killer powers are supported. I just read that. Blood cans can now be held with both regular items and killer specific items. So for example, if you're going against a Sadako / Onryo, you can hold a blood can and a tape and then maybe a medic or a med kit. So you can hold those items while simultaneously holding a blood can. And then the scoring event. So they're really kind of addressing all the issues that were in the last year's event. So the scoring event for completing a blood gen is shared among all survivors, whereas last year it was only the person or the people pouring blood into the blood gen. You only got that that scoring event, and it was the biggest scoring event for survivors in that event. So a lot of people felt like if you weren't the gym pouring blood, then you didn't get any BP. So they kind of addressed a lot of the issues from last year. And they've revealed a really cool trailer today, which focus on like Aurella Rose, Deathslingers in that, Blight, Spirit, and a couple other characters that will have Blood Moon event cosmetics. Luke, I'll jump to you first. What's your relationship with Blood Moon event? Did you play it last year? Are you excited to jump into it this year?
I did play it last year. I wasn't too excited about the emptying the blood into the generator. It just felt kind of like an extra thing to do, but you know, anything that gives me more blood points, I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the best event in my opinion, but like I said, it's new, it's different. It's a switch up from the regular game, so I'm all for it. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's
What are you
interesting.
seeing?
Like they're fixing, like, hopefully just the team wide score event makes it more of a party, and then now people aren't like rushing to complete the blood gens so they get the points, which is worsened by the fact that the offerings are typically personal, only working with the event category. So you'll have to be the only person filling blood gens to get value out of your own personal thing. If they change that, if they make it so it's team wide scoring, if it's a shared blood point offering like everyone always screams for, I think that would fix most of it, but then it would just be some blood point party game mode. Oh no. That would suck. That would
Yeah,
be
right.
terrible.
Please no.
Oh no.
I'm curious what most perks and all killer powers means, because it's guaranteed to be buggy in every single way I can imagine.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there'll be something that ends up breaking and people will complain and they won't patch it out because they won't either A, have the time, or B, don't want to put in the time to complete it by the end of the event. You're totally right. And the offering is a big contender because every other event offering other than anniversary is always personal BP scores.
Yeah.
So it would be great if the BP event of the year is everyone, because it really should be everyone.
Yeah.
Thoughts, Maddie?
I just really hope they do that. That's kind of my main critique of the Blood Moon event, because I didn't mind blood generators last year. Like, yeah, you could do them really quickly as Survivor, but I feel like there was kind of leeway in that, in which if you got rid of that generator really quickly, yeah, that's a generator down for the killer, but it also makes the map smaller, like, not literally smaller, but like in a gameplay sense, because that area is not really going to be a place the killer ever wants to go to. So doing that really quickly just kind of makes the map smaller, and it's more manageable for like trap killers like Hag and Trapper and Skull Merchant, kind of, but no one's playing Skull Merchant, and other killers like that. So I don't really mind that. I'm happy that they changed that, and that was like one of my only two complaints last year, and the whole authoring. So I do hope they change that. But besides that, I'm looking forward to this year, especially with the P100 badges. I definitely want to get Spain Traps, V's, Vittorios, and a lot more. So I'm probably going to be playing a lot of Dead by Daylight and probably get burnt out a little bit, but anything for this Bing Tab P100 player icon. I gotta get it.
Yeah, they actually added some incentives to actually get those P25, 50, 75, 100. So yeah, hopefully this is the event for you all, but it's coming very soon. So
I'm going to be so mad if I can't stack blood points after the blood point event.
Yeah, we'll see. Especially since we're not getting anniversary anymore. That event has been retired, so we'll see what we get this year.
something
The
new
Masquerade has been retired. Don't say the anniversary is
my
gone.
apologies. Yeah. Masquerade.
They
is
just
gone.
don't know what to do with Tricks. They're like, we can't keep bringing her out.
Yeah, she's not gonna be like, oh my god, party hats. Let's get a little funky with it.
Yeah,
and people love her, so it's kind of a bummer to lose her.
I'm people.
Hey, maybe she'll make a cameo.
Maybe, yeah. A lot of people want her like to be a survivor or a killer, but she's like kind of a gray area, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into the next bit of news. The Grimoire had reopened up last weekend. We had a new round of voting, which voted on the Mori, chapter logo, and perks for both the killer and survivor. I don't want to get into too much detail here other than kind of our quick thoughts on this, just because we have so many other updates and news to go through. But what do we think of this? Luke, have you been following the Grimoire? Have you been voting? Is this something you're interested in?
I voted in the first round of it, and I got the survivor that I wanted, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. Nice.
I've
good,
been
good.
I've actually followed up a little bit more with it today, and I
Mhm.
like what the killer looks like.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
going to be creepy. It's going to be really creepy. I think we need more monstrosity looking killers instead of like the
Oh
humanoid stuff.
yes.
100%.
I'm all for
Yeah,
it.
1000%.
I think it's going to be awesome, and I hope that they keep on doing more of like the Grimoire stuff. Like, can you vote for this? Like, what do you guys want? I think that they're catering to the fans in a really special way.
Yeah. That would be really
Yeah,
cool
they
if they did
always-
once a year.
Yeah, they keep saying this is the first like a lot of every time they bring it up. This is the first community voted chapter. I'm just like, okay, you're gonna do this another time. I already know it. So,
It's like
Maddie,
taking
you're
off like
the
crazy.
Grimoire. Yeah, it has. Maddie, you're the Grimoire expert. What do you think of the latest round of voting?
I am gonna be honest. I was kind of disappointed with the perk choices because I kind of feel like they had like a rough idea of what ones they wanted, and they're like, "We're only gonna do these," and then they put them in the thing. I feel like it would have been cooler if maybe there were types of perks, and then we got to choose the type of perk, and then each perk had like 3 different options, and that would be in the next round. But the way they did it was kind of like you get this or that, and some of them are just kind of like, I don't want to say not usable, but some of them seem kind of like there. Like,
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think they're gonna make the running past crows gain tokens for haste good, because that would be broken in my
Yeah.
opinion. So
Yeah.
that's probably gonna be really bad. So it's like, why did we vote for something that's gonna be bad? That's kind of my main complaint. Everything else though, I really love. Like the Mori storyboard is so cool. I love both of them very much, but the first one's probably gonna be the winner, the one where they get
Oh
like,
yeah,
split
the
in half,
one
'cause
where
that is so
Dwight is
cool.
being ripped in half.
Yeah, literally raptured
sweet
Dwight.
Dwight.
Mhm.
Yeah, sorry Dwight, but you're getting raptured. I'm a big fan of that. And the other vote, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really care that much for. So yeah,
Mhm.
Perks, wish it was better. Mori, happy, and then the other one I completely forgot about because to me it was really minor.
Yeah, the logo. Yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah, the
They were all
logo.
kind of a mix of.
Yeah, and like the
each
menu
other's.
What
board
font do you want to
thing.
forget about in 2 months?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
It's interesting that it's been 10 years and they did one Grimoire, so we can expect the next one to be in less than 10 years. But the way
Ideally.
this one's
Yeah.
going, I kind of want it to like, it's at like full steam ahead at this point. I just want it to be like finalized so they can just put it in the oven and just let it do its thing. I want to stop voting on it. I've done too much voting on it. And they've
Yeah.
kind of come out and said that like, I'm sorry we didn't exactly do what the community wanted because we didn't actually know what the votes would end up being in the first place. So they were like, we had to dance around our own creative limitations. And it was fun reading their
Mhm.
little blurbs about it. So I'm not sure if they'll do another one anytime soon, but it's got to be sooner than 10 years.
Yeah, I will quickly add. I think it would be really funny. This will never happen. I think it would be really funny for the next Grimoire in like the first round. It's like confirmed to be a license, and people have to vote for like 1 to 3 licenses, and then it's gonna be a bloodbath. I think that would be really funny.
Ooh.
That would be
They would never
reckless.
do
I love that.
That would be reckless.
I think it would be really funny because it could be like choose between BioShock, The Witcher, and Goosebumps, and then everyone's like this one, and it's like
we would be
it would
at each other's
That would be
throats.
a civil war, Maddie. That
would
is
be a
not a
civil
good
war.
idea.
But
I'm
it
gonna
would
go
be
ahead and
so
say
funny.
Goosebumps. I'm gonna say Goosebumps first.
Oh, I mean, same here. Y'all can
Yeah,
die on
I'm-
that hill.
Yeah, I'll go with
Like-
Goosebumps over those 3 too.
Like Slappy as a killer, call him the Slapper.
He'd be the real puppet, and then Chucky would just be an imitation of Slappy.
oh my
we need more small
gosh.
killers. I think we should get more small
Leprechaun.
killers.
We can do Leprechaun as
Okay,
well.
maybe not Leprechaun.
Maybe
Oh,
Leprechaun.
come on. He has like 6 or 7 blockbuster hits. That's a joke.
Oh my God, they're
None
all
of the
so
movie
funny.
Leprechaun movies are blockbusters. Yeah, they're really good though. They're really
They're hilarious.
good.
It's like so bad it's good.
Cool. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, cool. Well, we're excited to see how the Grimoire shapes up again coming this summer, not this summer, after summer in the fall. So we're excited to
fall,
see. And there's
yes.
more voting
Fall is
coming
so
in the
soon.
future.
Yep.
Finally, last bit of news. Again, we won't spend probably a whole lot of time here. Behavior has acquired a new indie studio developer, and they've acquired the developers behind 7 Days to Die. The studio name is The Fun Pimps. Get a new name, please. That's a horrible name.
For real,
but,
for real.
You know,
For real.
whatever. This comes after this. Yeah, it's a horrible name. This comes after Behavior acquired Red Hook Studios last year, which are the developers behind The Darkest Dungeon. I don't expect this to be anything other than Behavior is just really doubling down on publishing. We've seen them partner with folks to publish indie games or just develop games like Blight Survival. They just had a showcase that revealed some of that. They also have It Has My Face, which they showcased at the community event last year. Red Hook Studios, none of that content regarding Darkest Dungeon has appeared in DBD. We don't have badges or charms or skins. I don't expect anything from 7 Days to Die just because it's a zombie game and there's not really anything there. But I know it's a pretty popular one. Anyone have thoughts on this before we kind of move on? I just wanted to have it here just because I know we kind of cover all things Behavior. Go ahead, Manny.
Oh, sorry. You go first, Soy Sauce. You go first, Soy Sauce.
I was just
Or
gonna
Luke.
say you lost me at zombie. Honestly, it's so overdid. That's just my opinion. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
No more zombies. No more zombies. But in my opinion, I'm always gonna say I hate when companies buy other companies. I don't like when companies try and make a monopoly in any industry. And obviously, Behavior's not making a monopoly in like the horror ASIM buying Red Hook and what was the other one called? The Fun Pimps.
The Fun
Crazy
Pimps,
name.
yeah.
But
Ambitious.
I don't know. I like Behavior. I don't really know why they're doing this. There's probably a financial incentive to do this,
Oh, yeah.
but I don't know. I feel like they should just use that money to make new games. And I know their last few games haven't been the greatest, but I don't know. I'm just a stick in the mud. I'm sorry. I'm being a negative Nancy. I don't like when
No.
companies buy other companies. I think it's most of the time a bad thing to do. Don't do that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think consolidation in the gaming industry is bad, especially now with the gaming industry being so volatile. Like just today, we also learned that Epic Games is laying off 1,000 people, and that is like it's like 23% of their workforce or something. Like it is a large chunk. And that is
Ouch.
Epic Games, who operate and own Fortnite and Unreal Engine and all that stuff. So it
One of the
sucks.
highest grossing games of all time.
And you have Sony and Xbox closing down studios that they purchased 4 or 5 years ago. So yeah, consolidation's never fun.
Yeah.
It sucks. Yeah, I totally get that. But it seems like my guess is Behavior is less confident in their own games, DBD aside. Meet Your Maker, Death Garden, what have you, have not gotten off the ground. And it sounds like they're just really trying to beef up a publishing arm that they can put in a few, like 7 Days to Die, if you know it or not, it's a big zombie game. My partner has I looked today, he has 300 hours in that game, and it's been around for like a decade, like longer than DBD. So it's a robust game, and that's the only game that studio's developed. But yeah, it seems like they're just kind of beefing up their publishing arm.
Yeah, they want to spread their wings a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. New
Be
channel of revenue, I guess.
Yeah,
Right.
It's just
I
hard
can
to top it.
only
I
be
think
cynical.
it's hard to top it. Dead by Daylight has been so successful.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
their main
Like,
engine.
besides-
Like, what do they think? It's like they're not really going to top it. I don't see it happening anyway.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
no.
like what
No,
other
no.
game, like besides Fortnite, Fortnite has all these horror IPs in it, and it's like it's just Dead by Daylight or like
Warzone?
a Roblox game, but we don't talk about Roblox. 'cause-
Call of Duty.
Yeah,
kinda.
weirdly Call of Duty.
Yeah, weirdly
Yeah,
Call of
that's
Duty.
also
What's
true.
Call of Duty doing? Why is there
They
like
have
these? Never mind. I'm
Well, they-
gonna be complaining. I'm gonna be a hypocrite.
No worries. We can move on to actual DBD related stuff instead of IP stuff. Yeah, so All Kills Comeback is here. We have the 9.5 update. It's wrong in the notes. Not 9.6, 9.5. we are just going to jump right
9.5.0, and I think we got the first
9.5.0
hotfix today.
We
Yes,
sure
we
did.
and I've added a couple of those changes as well today. So, although there weren't that many, other than the Blood Moon event. So, we have a new map, y'all. The Sleepless District is the realm. Trickster Delusion is the map. Maddie, I'll jump to you first. What do you think of the map so far? Yeah, I feel that.
I guess
the new map.
guess I'll say the positives first and then the negatives. Positives, it looks amazing. It's their like graphically is their best map. No doubt. Like RPD, sorry. FNAF, I love you. Get out. Like every other map in comparison looks worse because of how good this map looks. Now the negatives. It's not really well balanced in my opinion. Now, a couple episodes ago, I did say I had pretty balanced vaults. I was wrong. Ignore her. Ignore 3 episodes ago, Maddie. She was dumb. Some of these vaults are very good. Like there's one in the market in the shops that connects to the supermarket where there's so much color on the outside that it makes a 50-50 window into like a 75-25 window. It's really unfun as killer to go against, but as survivor, you feel so safe. And you also have like a large ass table in one of the rooms, and then in the other room, it just connects to a bunch of pallets at the supermarket. So yeah, not a big fan of that. And there are other areas that feel very like dead, and there's no reason to go there, so it artificially makes the map smaller. Like there's a 50% chance there's a gen that spawns in the corner where the nightclub is, but there's also a 50% chance that it doesn't spawn there. And so it's like you never have to go to that corner of the map once the gen is done in the nightclub, and that's like a fourth of the map not touched. It sucks as survivor, great as killer. But on the contrary, there are also places that the killer never wants to go because there are pallets that when dropped, there's nothing you can do. You have to break it to catch the survivor. Like in the top left corner of the map where it kind of connects like the nightclub to like a blank area that connects down to like, oh god, how do I explain this to people who aren't watching? In a 2x2 square, the top right is like the nightclub. In the top left, there's one pallet that spawns there 50-75% of the chance where once you drop it, there's no way to go around it. You have to break it to go forward. And then there's another pallet like that that spawns in the bottom right that is very close to the market where there's a 50% chance that spawns. And yes, there are situations where you can get really unlucky as killer and they both spawn, meaning there are 2 god pallets that there's nothing you can do if you don't have a ranged ability or can get over the pallet, which is like half the roster. So that feels really bad. There are also other complaints where some buildings are very confusing and I feel like they should be expanded or changed. Like there's a solid building in the bottom right, like back to the 2x2, in the bottom right one. There's at least one building that has like a laundromat and it has a wall that's like cut out and it leads to another room. And there's normally like a vault there and there's a door that leads outside. But then there's like a weird room in the bottom right of those like 4 rooms where once you go in, there's another door to go out, but there's nothing in there. No pallets, no windows, no nothing.
Yeah.
So if you go in there and the killer's like got something to place something down, you're kind of fucked. Like you're dead. I'm sorry. You're going bye-bye. You're dying. You're dead. Sorry. No sorry. And yeah, there's a lot of gameplay decisions on this map that feel really bad. And most of the time, the gens are really spread out that if you are not a movement killer, you are going to suffer dramatically. So I'm going to keep going because there's other people, obviously, here who I really want to hear their thoughts on. But for me personally, who's played as multiple killers and multiple matches as Survivor and even doing adept challenges, it was really easy as Survivor, really hard as killer if I didn't have mobility. That's my thoughts.
Yeah. Stevie, what do you think?
I'd say it's a very beginner survivor friendly map in that sense where like you have a lot of space to work with and only really highly mobile killers and stealth killers will shine in this map. Unfortunately, if you're more of a like well-versed player, if you're an experienced player, you'll find a lot of this map to be boring. It's a lot of like those static windows and pallets that are genuinely strong, but if you're a survivor and you're playing against killers who understand you're using the strong window right now, why would they chase you? They should see you're doing that, break off chase. So ultimately, you might have super unfun games at the higher level here between god pallets, god windows, and survivors who know exactly where they are because they're going to spawn in those spots every time 50% of the time. You're just going to be kind of following this set path that you kind of freeform depending on how much distance you have. And as a killer, it's kind of predictable in just that you're like, okay, time to chase the Jake. Okay, he's probably going to drop this pallet. Okay, he didn't drop the pallet. I get a hit. But now next time, I know he's going to, okay, you dropped the God pallet, and then I kick the God pallet. Now I don't have to worry about it later. There's still 2 more I have to think about like that. And it's an odd mix where it feels a lot like some of the other maps in the game. A lot of maps I kind of like think of are like, okay, it has a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but it's all the bad parts of all the other bad maps. It's got like the size and the outside pallets of Larry's where it's just kind of like a big ring you can run around and circumvent the whole map in a big rectangle and kind of just be chilling. But it's also got like the size of a mother's dwelling where it's just big. And playing pig on that map, your stealth plus the size of the map is brutal for survivors. Those corners where they have to maybe go do a gen and not have a single pallet behind the laundromat, now there's a pig box. Now they have to run there and then run to the other side to the market. And it sucks when you're the killer and you have to run around. But if you're a survivor who has to break a 3-gen or run from one hook to the other, you're going to be wasting a lot of time. And it's interesting where I feel like the map could be strong for people who are kind of like playing it low and slow and playing safe. You really have to push your advantage as a survivor to win. If you kind of get like ballsy and just like play every pallet and drop everything, even though it's unsafe, now you just don't have anything left. It's the classic story of every map, but this one I think really incentivizes you to play smart and push your advantage as a survivor, because the killer doesn't really have anything and you just need to push and win.
Yeah.
There's not much interactivity, I should say.
It definitely did feel
What are your
really
thoughts,
easy
Luke?
as a survivor. I didn't play killer on that map, not yet, but felt a little
would
easy
recommend
unless I was going against the Trickster. Like it's literally made for the Trickster. Like,
Yeah.
But
yeah,
110
it's.
on
I
that
would
map?
like to see. I would like to see more maps that are like as aesthetically pleasing, just like just to look at. I feel like they really
Yeah.
went hard on that map, and I'm happy for them. But like you said, with like some of the the vault in the market being super strong and the big ass table, it's like feels really good as a survivor, sucks as a killer. It's really good for probably teleporting killers too, right? So
I'd love to see like
Yeah.
the locker spreads, like hold down dredge power for a couple of matches, see if any of them
yeah,
are
I think-
usable.
I love dredge.
We tested that,
Yeah.
Maddie, and we didn't think it was that bad, right?
Yeah, it was not that
Cool.
bad. There was surprisingly a lot more not layouts. It was surprisingly spread where the lockers were. Like there wasn't like dead patches. Though I did know a lot of lockers spawned in pairs together. There are no single lockers. Obviously, a lot of lockers do spawn together, but there was like very few lockers that were just individual. So that's both a positive and a negative. It really depends on how you play it as dredge, in my opinion. So yeah, I'd say it's a bit of give and take. It's not that bad as dredge.
Yeah. Aesthetically, we've all said it. Aesthetically, this map is beautiful. I also did do some research, and they did address some of the map's language that was on posters and advertising in the map. That has been addressed. I would, and I'm going to put this in the link in the description. Polyester has a very good breakdown of this incident, of how this individual broke down each of the things in the map, and then behavior addressed it, and then covering the changes. It's a really good, informative video. I recommend everyone watch it. I'll include it in the description. But yeah, they address those things. That's great. Balancing wise, this map is a hot mess. It is survivor sided all the way. It is. I played on Trickster. I played Trickster on this map a lot, and it's probably one of the, aside from maybe Larry's or something else very indoorsy, it's probably one of the worst maps to play as Trickster, and it's a zone map, which really sucks. But it is very much was a whole W as Survivor, because if they hear your aura or they hear your terror radius, they start holding W, and it took me forever. And this is this Trickster. I'm not playing as a movement killer, but it took me forever to catch up to them. And I could not do well as Trickster. And again, I'm not a Trickster main. I don't play Trickster much, but he just felt and we'll get into him in a minute, but it just felt awful to play against. And I played some other killers on it, and it just felt really difficult. And then as Survivor, I'm conflicted because all but maybe 4 pallets, and there can be maybe 20 something pallets on this map. 4 pallets are not unsafe pallets. You have the 2 god pallets. You have one around this, like maybe one in Market that isn't unsafe sometimes, and then maybe another one in the lower district, and then you have Shack. But the rest are all 50-50 pallets. And since the tile rework that Behavior did a while back, which I think has still left some of the tiles to be just gutted, and it feels kind of bad to play against, I feel like their decision in balancing is, okay, we'll do 2 god pallets and the rest are all 50-50s. That's just not good balancing for both killers and survivors. Like, it's so easy to mind game as a killer around those, and then you just have to be really skilled to capitalize on those 50-50s as a survivor, which I can sometimes do and I sometimes can't. It depends on who I'm going against, but it just felt really bad. And I just wish they were better designed. And I think this really highlights how not great Behavior is at making maps and why we don't get them very often.
Yeah. It's
Here.
Yeah.
I think about like all of the new geometry that I've seen show up like in this map and the ones that they add to like the pool and older maps. And I could talk a lot about some of those, like you know what I'm talking about, like not a TL wall, not a 4 lane, not a standard jungle gym, that new shit that shows up sometimes.
Oh yeah, the one that's like 4 walls, but then there's a window that's perpendicular
you're talking
to all
like
the others.
Extended Z wall with the half of a 4 lane. That's the one I was thinking of when I was.
Yeah,
but I digress. That one's not in the map, thankfully. It's just like little tables making small T shapes with a pallet that you break, and it's a lot similar to Larry's. It's a lot similar to like these pallets that are just 50-50s, but you chain them into a window. You drop them prematurely so you can make it to the window and the killer has to go around it, or you can make it to the main structure. It's the purpose of these pallets isn't to be played, it's to be extending your chases, pre-dropping, so the killer has to do something for 4 seconds, or else all the chases in this area are going to be strong as they fault it. It's a weird mix.
A good thing to.
It's unintuitive for new players, but it's strong once you get the hang of it.
Yeah, that's a good thing to emphasize is if you know how to chain those pallets together, you're probably going to do a lot better than just sticking to the one pallet and hoping you get a stun. That's a great way of putting it, because if you can do that, you'll absolutely do okay on this map, and you'll actually probably get out. But yeah, I felt like I played against the Ghoul on this a few times. That didn't feel very good because that killer is just a pain in the butt sometimes, but also just movement is going to dominate on this map. So yeah, that's the new map. Any final thoughts before we move on? Oh, one last thing. There is a bug currently with that map, or maybe just on spawning in general, but I've seen clips of people spawn in the club with the killer in the same room, or I've spawned just outside the club as Trickster, and then they are in the club and I just see them run out and I'm like 10 feet away. I'm just like, I don't know what's happening here. So it's a little weird that that's happening.
It's happened to me. I didn't like it.
Oh, really?
You got spawned on.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good, so they need to fix that.
Anyone like this map? Hate this map?
Not a fan.
Not a fan.
Not a fan.
I'm so conflicted. Like, I love the look of it. It's cool to have a new environment, but the balancing just sucks. I hate it.
Yeah.
When it gets thrown in the random pool, it'll be fine. It'll go alongside all the other random garbage.
Yeah,
and
coming soon. Update 9.5.2. New map update.
Ooh,
right.
We'll see it.
It needs a balancing patch for sure. But something tells me that'll take a little longer.
Do I like it more than like Toba and Garden of Joy? I think so. I think I don't hate this map.
I I think I might be in the minority here in that I think I prefer the more rural maps than I do urban ones. Just because I think that aesthetic is pleasing to me and I think fits DBD more. I don't love Toba Landing. I think that map is aesthetically a collage of weird things, but it's just I don't think aesthetically it's pleasing to look at or be in.
I mean, I like.
You like
Fits
it,
with
Maddie?
the chapter that I rolled out with.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It matches Singularity to a T for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
that's
I like Toba Landing. I like playing on it. I think it looks neat. And I don't like it as much as this map, though. Even if I hate playing on it as killer, I definitely think it can be improved. I think it probably will be improved. Like, I can definitely see them adding a catwalk into the middle of that like large pit in the nightclub because like it's just whole W, so I can definitely see them doing stuff like that. I feel like it's really easy to fix. They just need to add more holes in the walls, maybe more vaults, maybe add more safe pallets, but in return make some of the windows like really easy to get hit, stuff like that. I feel like it's really easy to fix. They just gotta sit down and lock in after the year 10 anniversary is my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll jump to the new survivor, Quante Young. AI Tech Bro is essentially his lore here. Maybe we'll get into that in another episode. But 3 new perks. We have Flow State, A Place for Us, and 5 Moves Ahead. Quickly on these. For Flow State, you gain a token for every gen completed, up to 5. For each token, you gain a 10% increase in healing, cleansing, and unhooking. A Place for Us, when healing another survivor, you both gain elusive. When you finish healing the obsession, you both get elusive for 30 seconds, and you're less likely to become the obsession at the start of the trial. And then 5 moves ahead, while in chase or killer's terror radius, you see the auras of the 5 closest pallets and windows. And then you, after dropping a pallet, you start moving 50% earlier. This has a cooldown of 30% after you throw down the pallet. There's a change here in 5 moves ahead to the language. In the PTB, it was you throw pallets 50% faster. That was tested and not to be true, so they reworded it. It's actually you move 50% faster, or you move away from the pallet 50% earlier. So I don't know what this does. Like, can someone I'm not seeing this. I'm not really use these perks just because I don't think them. Yeah, go ahead, Maddie. I don't really understand what this does.
So basically, when you have 5 moves ahead, like the first caption says, when you're being in chase or killer's terror radius, you see the 5 closest. That's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, that's clear.
The dropping of a pallet, like moving 50% faster, it means you do still. I don't know how to describe it.
Do you move through the pallet faster and then you start running away from it faster?
I think that the animation of you dropping the pallet to letting go of it, you know, how you like turn back around and take off, it's like that time is cut in half. So
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly like that. Thank you so much, Luke, for wording that better than I could have.
No, you're okay.
It's weird.
I
worded.
love it. I think I like that perk a lot.
Oh, cool,
I think
nice.
it's cool.
If
Yeah.
you've been
I
running
like
it, do you feel it? Like, I don't care what it does, but do you
You
feel
do
it
feel
doing
it.
something?
You do feel it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that was awesome, but no, you feel it for sure.
But it's like resilience on a fast vault. It's like
Yeah.
yes.
Or
Exactly.
finesse, maybe.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Have you been trying any? Oh, go ahead, Maddie.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, I was just
I've
going
been
to
trying
ask
the other
Luke
perks too.
if you've been trying any of the other perks, or if you comboed them with anything else.
I like flow state also. I mean, they're all pretty good. I haven't had too much time to mess with all of them yet. But I'm all for like rewards for doing generators because I have a gen sweat build that I like to run when I got my full sweat going on.
Nice.
So like
nice.
the speed on the blessing and cleansing totems is awesome. The healing, obviously. I'm all for the rewards with the generators.
Especially if you pair them up with other perks like stuff like counterforce. Oh, so good. So
Yep.
fun. Love
What
that.
totem?
Yeah.
What totem?
Yeah.
That's my totem.
Bye thrill the hunt. Goodbye undying. It's time for me to cleanse. Yes.
Get him
If
outta
it
here.
glows, it goes.
Glows, it goes.
I'd want to see that perk
Yeah.
with no one left behind, because it kind of does the same thing, where no one left behind is like oh, the exit gates are open and now you heal 50% faster, you unhook 50% faster. It's the same numbers as the healing and the unhooking on flow state, but if you put them together, now that's what, 100% unhooking speed? I wonder what that would look like. They'd have to be somebody like in the basement, end game,
Just
doors
rip
are
them off
open.
the hook.
Yeah.
There's also Felix's perk that also increases depending how many people are injured or hooked. So
True.
pair that all three together, you're just like, boom, let's go.
They're just TP off the hook. They're just boom off
Right,
of
can
it.
you imagine that you take one hit from the killer and then you unhook the person so fast that you're already out of there before they're done wiping their machete? That's the ideal with flow state. I want to see unhooking speed be way more common.
I do
Yeah.
want to say,
It's very powerful.
I did try out these perks, and I do have thoughts overall about all three of them that I feel pretty negative about, but I do want to talk about the positives. Flow state, I do think it's a very nice incentive for newer players or people who really want to focus on generators. It's like, hey, you get benefits for doing more gens. Besides getting closer to the exit, you can do more stuff. Awesome. Love that. My only downside, for me at least, it feels more like a win more button, like Hex Devour Hope. I love Hex Devour Hope, but it's a lot of a win more perk. Like, it gives you more benefits when you're already doing the thing you want to be doing, which is not bad in itself. It's still fine, I think. Like, I think it's a solid B tier perk. I just feel like there are better perks that can go in that place that you would want to use, in my opinion. The other two are kind of where I have a bigger, like, bone to pick, as some nerd would say. Specifically, the pattern that I don't like Quan is setting up, that is new survivors coming out with better perks of already existing perks. Specifically, I'm talking about 5 moves ahead, but also a place for us, specifically with Leon's Bite the Bullet and Kate Denson's Windows of Opportunity. I'm not super mad as I used to be with 5 moves ahead when I was comparing it to Windows ahead with Windows of Opportunity, because how I see it is that Windows of Opportunity is for newer players, while this perk is for more professional, late veteran
A
players.
professional. I play Dead by
Professional.
Daylight.
Yeah. But then I realized Cade isn't 3. You have to buy her. And obviously you can get iridescent shards and get her for free since she's an original character, and she's going to be a lot cheaper than Quan. But why wouldn't you just save up, get Quan, and get 2 better perks when Kate Denson has 2 okay perks and then that perk? So I don't really like they're releasing new characters with just better perks, especially with a place for us, because there's one scenario where I think you would want to use Bite the Bullet over a place for us. But even then, it's so tiny. And it's literally like, it's so minimal for when you want to use that a place for us is just objectively better. And that's kind of why I don't like these
Bite the
perks.
Bullet works on self-healing.
Exactly, yeah. It works on
So
self-healing.
that's
Right.
about
the
it.
one thing.
Like, right, you just kind of get a self-heal in a cheeky spot because you're one person and you're making no noise. But elusive, you are right, is strong as balls. Elusive is
It hides
crazy.
forward, hides scratch marks, hides everything. So yeah, I don't really like the incentive. What the pattern is starting to
pattern.
look like with Quan. I hope they don't continue it. But in a vacuum with just Quan looking as perks, I do like 5 moves ahead. I like a place for us, and flow state is decent. So overall, this guy gets like an A-. His perks get an A-. He passes the class. He showed up to presentation, made solid slides,
And we
his
don't
group
have to
members were
spend
doing
real
great.
money on them. That's the beautiful part.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'll say, Maddie, I don't know if this is I wouldn't say this is a trend, this character's setting, because we did just have Stranger Things, and we have some of 11's perks, like extrasensory perception, which is just better still sight. Like,
You're right.
you know, so
And Henry has
this
better
just is-
pop now. He has better pop now.
yeah, like, and Pop was just, which we'll get into, was nerfed, you know, in this update. So
Nobody
just-
knows what happened to Pop.
yeah. There was one person at Behavior that just fucking hates Pop Goes the Weasel, and it's like, we gotta nerf it again.
It's their job to clock in and think of 50 new ways to change Pop Goes the Weasel every week.
Yeah. It's like, should we change the icon? No, we'll just nerf it again.
Yes.
I'd love to see that where
Yeah,
like,
so-
they change the activation on Pop Goes the Weasel, and then they have to change the icon to get rid of the hook because it no longer activates on hook.
Let's
and
just change the name. Let's
Yeah.
just change the name.
Yeah, let's just say
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. So I don't think that trend's been set with Quan, but it's definitely becoming a regular trend for DBD, and unfortunately that's just the case for this type of game when you add 3 new perks with every killer you add. So It'd be interesting how they spice it up, if anything.
Yeah. Please.
Moving on, we're gonna go to Trickster. Trickster got his little, no, I wouldn't say rework, but his updated power. He now gains style points when doing specific actions in like chaining them together. So that might be like hitting a gin and then kicking a pallet and then injuring someone with his blades and then M1ing, doing different acts between chaining them together gets you style points faster. So if you're doing the same thing over and over, they don't go up as fast. And he gets bonuses as he goes up all the way from E to S. And then once you reach S, you can use main event. And here are just some quick stats on some of these things. I'm not going to go into detail about his style points. There was a lot in the patch notes, but you're welcome to go read those in detail if you want. Movement speed. So just in general, his movement speed was reduced to 4.4. It was 4.6. They decreased his tear radius to 24 meters. It was 32. Blade count was decreased to 36. It was 44. Laceration meter was decreased to 6. It was 8. It does not, part of the patch notes today is it does not decrease during S rank. So if you get any laceration and he has ace rank, it will not decay until he goes down to E. Main event grants killer instinct upon activation. It lasts 10 seconds. It was 8. And he had various add-on changes, but there's one add-on that I want to bring up because I think it's an important discussion to have here. And that is there's an add-on that gives him a reticle. And I believe this is the only, in terms of killer projectile powers, that has a reticle.
Oh, there's one over. There's one over. There's spring
what's the other one?
traps where it allows him to see the arc, and there's a little reticle.
Oh, right. Right. I forgot about that. And then he also got a MiNA legendary cosmetic, which, you know, we can talk about in a minute. But I will just jump in here because I've played quite a bit of Trickster since this update, and he's about the only killer I've played since the update because I just want to try him out. And
Same here.
I think he feels worse to play.
I was gonna say.
His blade count being reduced and his movement speed, I think, are the two most egregious things here, in that I was constantly having to reload. And like I mentioned earlier, the new map is just hold W, and it took me forever to catch up with survivors. So that reduced movement speed really hurt, I thought.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Maddie.
I was just gonna say, I totally agree. I played him a lot on the new map, so obviously there's gonna be a bit of bias, but I did play a few matches off the new map. He feels awful to play as currently, because you really don't notice it until you're actually playing him. 4.4 is really noticeable compared to 4.6. Like, you feel slow, you feel sluggish, especially when someone's holding W, which, funny enough, is one of the bigger counters to Trickster, because yeah, he can throw knives at you. But as soon as you get like one tiny pixel worth, like actually super slim, like tree, you literally are safe. You're safe. I'm sorry, because he's gonna have so much trouble. Because if he keeps throwing it, yeah, he's gonna go faster. He's throwing more knives, but he's gonna get harder and harder to aim, and he's getting slowed down while he does that, and he's getting slower than 4.4. And I feel like no matter how many updates they gave him, those two have felt like such a big nerf. It's on the same scale, I'd say, as when they made it so when Skull Merchant scans you, it doesn't count if you're doing a fastball. That feels awful.
Yeah.
It feels awful. And just to kind of build upon that, I don't know why Behavior has this weird, like, this is gonna sound weird. I don't know why they have like a low-key kink of specifically giving a killer a bunch of buffs and then literally destroying their ankles for no reason. Like, I feel like every other killer they update, they do that for. And Trickster's just one of them. And I don't know. I like the style. It makes him more unique than other ranged killers. I like the main event. I feel like it's pretty strong. Everything else, though, there are things I changed. Like, make him faster. Make him have the same amount of knives. And I get why they did these changes on a number scale, because they wanted to have the fun fact of it all being 4. Because if you don't know, in Korea, the number 4 is considered very unlucky, and it's kind of associated with death. I could be wrong. Feel free to correct me in the comments. So that's kind of why they changed a lot of stuff to 4. But, like, even his terror radius isn't 4 or, like, related to number 4. So I wouldn't be, like, super sad if they increased it to 4.6 again. Because I feel like if he was, like, 4.6, he'd be fine. He'd be a solid B-. And I would be happy. I would be happy. But currently, he really feels bad to play with all these changes. And no matter how many Trickster mains try and say, oh, actually, it's an upgrade because of blah, 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 blah. No. They broke his ankles. Fix him. Make him fast again. That's my thoughts.
Wasn't he
I don't think we're gonna see more
4.4
tricksters.
a while ago before
When he
was
first
4.6?
came out.
He was
Oh,
4.4
yeah.
on release, then buffed to
Yeah.
4.6 for a long time, and then he was recently brought back to 4.4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I've
just-
never been a huge Trickster player. I hate going against him, honestly. But it just feels so
Same
bad.
here.
I'm so bad. Like my buddy's like, just zigzag. I'm like, I am. I feel like I'm just feeding into his predictions so horribly. But yeah, I think there's just so many people. Maybe not so many people, but there's a lot of like really sweaty people on Trickster that like the devs see that and they're like, okay, we got to nerf him because of all the super sweats, and it sucks for like average me who wants to play Trickster and get good. I'm like, wow, this sucks. I don't want to play this guy at all. Like, it just doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good at all.
That's definitely a conversation I feel like could be had for another day, where behavior specifically looks at numbers and is like, oh, they're doing really good, so we have to do this, kind of ignoring how it feels to play. That is my main reason why I hate nerfs so much, because they're like, oh, she has a low kill rate, she's fine. No, kill her. Sorry. I really don't like this.
I want to emphasize the point you brought up, Maddie, is that you said behavior has a kink, if you will, which I totally agree with you. Anytime they want to buff a killer, they always do a negative side to it. We see this in the Hillbilly rework that we got. We see this in maybe less so the Michael Myers, because that feels like a big old buff around he just was slaughtered as a thematic killer, but we see this in many other instances of skull merchants, buffs. We've seen this with Clown, more recently. So yeah, they always feel like they can't just buff a killer, just buff a fucking killer. You don't have to nerf some part of their kit.
Please don't. You don't have to do all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough because if you do come out with like, oh, Trickster is reworked, he now has like style points and he's the same movement speed, you'll have a lot of people screaming, unrightfully so, that like, oh, all they do is buff killers. You see, it's a killer-sided game. They never give anything to survivors. We don't see that as much because thankfully those players kind of wash out pretty quickly. But I think like for variety's sake, not every ranged killer needs to be 4.4. 4.4 is kind of like a special thing we should only reserve for like what would be an S tier killer that we now need to bump down to like A. Because if you put anyone lower, like Hag is nothing right now, and if she was 115, she wouldn't be anything stronger. But the thing is, you don't put a 115 killer in the dumpster just cause.
They're just feeling silly. You're gonna feel silly.
Yeah, like the power should be built around being 4.4, not the other way around.
And for context, Blight is 4.6. Like
Yeah.
he's a 4.6
Well, he
killer.
needs it. What's he supposed to do in
Does
a
he though?
chase? What's he supposed to do in a chase if there's someone trying to mind game him?
Whereas Deathslinger is 4.4. Like what?
he's
Like, what are
ranged.
we doing for balancing? Yeah, but like he has one shot. Deathslinger's so weak, and he's even
actually
worse in
upgraded him.
2v8. Give that man two shots.
He now has 36 shots, guys. So good.
With no
They just give him a
cooldown in
Gatling
between
gun.
them.
None. Fully automatic harpoon rifle.
Yeah. Yeah. Just give him a double barrel. Like, just give him,
Oh
let
my
him have
God.
2 shots, please.
That's
Or give
such a
him,
good
and one of his Eries is just pointless. When he skewers someone, he gains undetectable. I know we're going on a weird tangent. I'm not sorry. He gets undetectable when he spears someone. What a stupid ass offering.
Yeah.
Like,
Where
make
did
it so
he
he has
go?
2 shots as an Erie.
Where did we go,
Yeah,
guys?
like wow, I wonder where he is. And
It's
it
not like
doesn't
your
linger.
camera
It does
lines
not
up
linger.
to him when you get stabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what the hell are we doing? Behavior, like
I
just
will
some weird
add really
decisions.
quickly with Trickster. I feel like one buff they could give him that could make him feel better if they don't want to change his move speed is to make his ricocheting knives add-on base kick. Because I remember when he first came out, people were like,
Yeah.
he doesn't really get a lot of value if someone goes behind a corner, but this would make it kind of like fun because it's like, ooh, do I probably cut up the trajectory so the blades bounce off the wall so it hits them and they get like a little bit of laceration. So yeah, if they don't fix the movement speed, I would like to see that add-on base kit. It's been requested for a long time. Like personally, back on his release, I was like, if he's a trickster, this feels like very like silly. This feels like something he would do, and kind of adds to like his skill as like someone who's professional with knife throwing. So yeah, if they're not going to be base, oh my god, if they are not going to improve his movement speed, they should add that add-on, possibly base kit, and then maybe
Mhm.
that would feel better, in my opinion.
And speaking of base kit, what do we think about a reticle being locked behind an add-on?
Poopy, sorry. Very aggressive.
Well, it should be.
but-
It should always be there, right?
yeah, like
Always
make it
there,
be
a
there.
little toggle.
Always.
Yeah, make it a
And
toggle. Make it,
should
Yeah.
always be there for every ranged killer.
yes, 100%. Because
Yeah.
I feel like, in my opinion, a lot of people struggle if they have like bad eyesight. And like I have bad eyesight. Like obviously for me, that does not affect my aiming, but I know for some people it does. And it's weird that they have stuff that is locked under accessibility when it should just be base kit. Because for those people, they're literally at a disadvantage because they're losing one of the add-on slots. I feel like it should just be base kit, and then you can like change it in the accessibility settings. And it's kind of disappointing that they didn't do that. But
Mhm.
there's not that many ranged killers, so I guess I get why they did that. But
Well,
personally,
if
I
we're
would
wishing
make it.
for reticles, then they'll make the plaid flannel base kit for nurse.
Oh god, ugh.
That would suck.
Monkey spot curls.
Oh, no.
All the reticles are now based it, including nurse.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if that's the ideal reticle, I mean, I'd love to see something where it was like, oh, if you're just swinging, it gives you a little dot in the center of your screen to kind of show you that you're like mid-attack. Or like,
Yeah.
if you're lifting up your tentacle as
cool.
Nemesis, it has just like a little arrow in the center.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
something that only shows up when you're like winding up.
Yeah, and it's weird
Yeah.
too, because like the artist gets it, like base kit, but other killers
Yeah.
don't. It's like it's very pick and choose. Like make them all have the same.
The artist one
Mhm.
is tough too because like it's way more of like a trapper trap when you realize how artist works, where it's like it has a hitbox that needs to be accounted for, so it needs to show you the
Yeah.
whole hitbox.
Yeah, it's just it's
Mhm.
weird. It's weird.
Yeah,
Ah.
definitely. And then finally with Trickster, we have a MiNA legendary, which changes,
Yes.
has her own voice lines, has her own Mori. People have been kind of really, it's a $20 cosmetic.
So good, it's worth it.
Any thoughts here? It's very good. It's very, very good. And people have been, like I mentioned before we started recording, there is a MiNA Mori Steam group. So
Yeah.
people want to be Mori
people
by MiNA.
cannot shut up about
Oh
MiNA.
my god.
I am
Oh my
people.
God.
I am people.
Gooner Central
me.
around this.
First off, you're bi to everyone who likes me. You're bi. So
First
getting that out of the
off,
way, you're bi. Jokes aside, I really like it, but I will say it is really interesting because I feel like this is the first like visceral cosmetic that people are like, we want additional customizations for legendaries because the developers have mentioned in interviews that they were looking at the possibility that could be an option. But a lot of people are like, it's fine, it's whatever. But with MiNA, people are like, we want more cosmetics for her. And people are kind of scared they're going to do like different outfits and it's the same character, but different outfits. So you have to buy each outfit. But I've also heard people say, no, they wouldn't do that. And they would really like to see that as an option. So yeah.
It'd be cool, like you buy it and then you unlock the cosmetics, like the more you level them up, like with prestige and everything. That'd be cool.
I was going to say, they
Yeah,
could
that'd
do
be cool.
something, people are going to hate me for this, like Fortnite, where they have something called sidekicks, which are like little pets. And when you buy them, they have like a little mini battle pass, basically. And the more you use that sidekick and have it equipped, you gain points throughout the match just by playing, and then you unlock more rewards. I feel like they could do that with legendaries, like a little mini battle pass. And as you play, you get more rewards. I think that would be really fun, in my opinion.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Yeah.
And yeah, final thoughts. Mina's hot. You're bi, and give them more planet.
yeah, if anyone's looking
Yeah.
at MiNA and is like, I like MiNA, but I'm straight. Well, think about
Not
it.
anymore. Not anymore.
And it's
Yeah,
interesting.
it's a
like,
very well done skin.
last time, like before MiNA, that we had like the gender bend cosmetic. I mean, it's Kaneki. Kaneki came with the Rize skin on release,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
oh my goodness, you probably see the Rize skin more than you see Kaneki. Just because it was
Yes.
kind of on release, people were like, "Oh, this is the skin to buy to show my loyalty for the franchise." And also,
Yeah,
like, if you like the characters, you probably do want to play the more psychotic
I will
killer
add
one.
there was incentive to get Rize for him just because he's always like "Arrgh!" on the title screen. But
Yeah.
when you buy her and equip her, she's like
I've heard from Ghoul mains that her voices and her VFX are a bit more more annoying, I guess. I've just seen a few posts or comments about that, but
Oh,
I know
really?
people love that cosmetic overall. So
You probably like tune out the Kaneki screaming, but like the giggling probably always
Yeah.
gets to you.
Yeah, they're like, stop
Yeah.
laughing. It's not funny.
Any final thoughts on the Trickster before we kind of move on to other final updates?
Make him faster or give him laceration knives bouncing, please. Please.
Yeah, probably a combination of the two.
As someone who does not like playing against the Trickster, I'm like, leave it. Yes, leave it. It's fine.
Leave it. Let it be.
You shut the door to the basement with him bleeding in there.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I think the only thing I'll say there is like I'm with you. I don't like going against the Trickster, but it really just comes down to the map. Like if it's Larry's, cool,
That's
I
fair
have a
too,
shot.
yeah.
But if it's like
Yeah.
one of the farms, I'm just like I'm fucked. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing to loop other than Shaq.
I
And
agree
maybe
with
the main
what
Welcome to
Maddie said about
Definitely
Azeroth's
that one.
Trickster.
I agree with what you said about the Ricochet should be base kit.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah,
He
that'd be
deserves
cool.
it.
I'm,
That he
I'm
deserves
interested to see if the Ricochet blades under the hood are like currently bugged, because with the new like scoring system where like, oh, the blade travels more than 4 meters, or if you hit the survivors 4 times with the blade without missing, or if you do XYZ, you get style points. I think the Ricochet blades, I'm not confident are like totally working. I have no proof, but I just have a hunch that there's like some math wrong somewhere where if it bounces off the wrong angle, you get double style points. Or
I would not be surprised.
it would
I
be
not
too OP
surprised.
Yeah.
only for the fact that it's bugged, is what I
Yeah.
would say.
Like you get
Will be
trapped
your
in like
behavior
any
bug.
sort of hallway and they pop main event, like you're dead. You're gone. All the blades are gonna like
Mhm.
ricochet and you're gonna be like down in a
Everywhere.
second. Like ah!
Okay.
He deserved
Well,
the
let's
rework.
move
He
on to
deserved
some
it.
other. Yeah,
Very
he did.
deserved.
He did.
Very.
Let's move on to some final killer updates, and we'll wrap up here shortly. The first got some nerfs, decreased the second phase of the World Breaker timer. That's that last little quarter you can't get rid of with the clocks. Decreased that to 50 seconds. It was 60. And the killer base attack lunge speed is now in line with all other killers because for some reason it was not that. So probably just a weird oversight there. Speaking of the ghoul, adjusted reticle synciness to survivor from 0.18 to 0.05 seconds when attempting a Kagune grab. Is that correct? Am I saying that wrong?
Kagune.
Kagune.
A
Tells you how much
Kagoon
I've
grab.
Kagune. That is a nerf for anyone who is maybe confused by the second set. It is a nerf, so the stickiness is not as sticky. So yeah, and then the killer can no longer automatically damage survivors nearby following a leap vault. And in addition to this, they eliminated a counter to him where you can't revault into him when he vaults over, which was a common counter, but that has been fixed because apparently it was a bug and not a feature.
Well, they
any
made
thoughts
the
on-
revault is technically like it's no longer impossible to do the revault, but like
It's a
because
lot
before it
harder.
was like before they changed it where they were like, oh well, every time he vaults he should hit you, but now they changed it where okay, and every time he vaults he doesn't even go for a hit, so you can revault, but now it's not necessary. It's not impossible, but it's also not necessary, which is the good thing. It used to
Okay.
be necessary where it was like the only counterplay. And it sucked because
Yeah.
it was unintuitive. Why run into the killer? Why does this make sense? It makes the killer look stupid. It was unintended, but it was necessary. But now that it's not necessary, you can still do it, but it's not like always what you have to do, which is nice.
Yeah, that is good. The mastermind Wesker was not in the killer updates. However, he was in the bug fixes, and I really just want to touch on. He got a lot of bug fixes that aimed to, and this is a quote from Behavior, tackle the desync issues found while using the power. This will also improve responsiveness for most of his power usage, as well changed how we detect a collision with other characters, survivors, killers, zombies, while grabbing a survivor. However, this is unquote. However, this effectively killed Wesker tech, so now you can't like slide against things and quickly flick around a a loop or whatever. But Behavior did respond saying they would look into implementing the tech into his kit properly. So beforehand, it was just a side effect of poor programming. But now that has been cleaned up, and so that's been removed. But they want to include that because a lot of Wesker mains feel he's kind of been gutted without this stuff. Any Wesker enjoyers or anyone who want to comment on kind of this change?
I really like Wesker. I do. I used to hate him. I was like, he's not even a monster, really.
He's just a guy.
He's just a guy.
Yeah,
No, I've grown to love Wesker. He's really fun to chase against. And he's a lot of fun to play too, I will say. But with that, I can't deny there's just been so many bugs with him from the get-go. Like getting pulled through the shack wall vault, you know what I'm talking about? Like all kinds of stuff, like getting pinned against midair type of stuff. And
always.
You drop a pallet on one side and then he choke slams you back onto his side.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we had that last night in
Will
our
they
custom
ever
games.
fix our boy?
Crazy.
Will they ever fix him?
I had a friend who got like really into Wesker for a bit when she was playing, and like she learned kind of how to hug tech, or at least like what was happening under the hood, and like explained it to me pretty well. So like I have a kind of a good grasp on like what is happening when like Wesker uses his power, basically. Like a lot of killers is kind of simple, like, oh, it's just they get a bunch of speed and they get a hitbox. Wesker is like, he pulls out his power and then like he asks the server, I would like to bounce. I would like to use my power. And then the server says, okay, you are this far away from the nearest thing you will hit, and I will do my best to give you movement speed until you hit that thing or run out of time on your power, so we don't send you going forever. So it'll essentially just give him enough speed to get to the place he's looking. And if the game determines that there's a rock in the way, it'll stop that short. It'll give him only enough speed to make it to that rock. If the game determines there's a survivor in the way, it'll like give him enough speed and initiate a grab. But what you do is you like trick the game into thinking you're not looking at that spot. So it's like giving you too much speed for the direction you're actually going. So you're like looking off an angle, going into a wall with more speed than you should have going into a wall. That causes you to slide, and then you send another dash. And like that's pretty fun if you get it to work. It feels like you're breaking the game a little bit. And this is where they come into accidentally fixing this, and they come in to apologize and say, we fixed a lot of issues by making the bounce work better. Don't worry about how it works now, but all your fun tech isn't going to work. All your fun tech's not going to work the same. So it's kind of up to the community to either like say this was actually really fun and give us something similar, or they find something else to do with Wesker, which I don't think anyone's found something crazy cool yet. There's no new hug tech.
Not yet.
So we might have to see the old stuff added, which will be a lot of work to recreate a bug that shouldn't have happened. And now they have to figure out a way to recreate something that they got rid of because it was too buggy, just to make it feel like it was buggy again. It's a weird way to put it.
They're like, come on, do the thing,
they might not
do the
edit
thing.
that correctly.
Do the thing.
Yeah, right? Like,
Yeah.
That being said, Wesker mains, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I've still seen him quite a bit, so people are still playing him. He's like
still popular.
like Luke said, he's very fun to play against. I like playing against him a lot. Okay, let's jump into the last few things. Killer perk updates. I neglected to add what these updates were because we had 2 survivor perk reworks, and that was fast track and self-preservation. Does anyone happen to have those in front of them? I don't quite remember what these do again.
Yeah, fast track used to be for every survivor hooked, you'd get up to 3 tokens, and then every time once you hit a great skill check, it consumes all the tokens you've banked. And for each token you had, you added a % of progress to the gen. Now it's reworked to remove charges from the gen for each token you have saved up when you hit a great. This works similar to like scavenger, brand new part, weaving spiders, removing charges from the entire gen permanent progress on a single gen.
Okay.
Yeah.
It
says while repairing, whenever you hit a great basic skill check, spend all tokens. For each token spent, the generator gains 2 permanent charges.
Yes. I have thoughts on that perk.
How did I miss that?
Specifically,
Interesting.
Yeah, specifically, I think it's fine on its own. It's just when you combine it with other instances
Yes.
of that perk or with gen building, like gen rush perks, that it gets a little wonky and I think should be tuned down a bit. Because there are cases where I went against survivors who finished a gen in then less than 30 seconds with a certain build of brand new part. Because you can do a brand new part and not self preservation, but that perk
Fast
and
track,
brand new
yeah.
part. And then if you have like a toolkit, you can use the toolkit, or if you have the Laura Croft perk, you can do that. And it just goes by so quickly, and there's nothing you can do. It does not feel great. But I will say it's kind of like stakeout and hyper focus. It's not going to happen to every game, but when it happens, it's going to feel kind of bad. So
Yeah.
maybe like decrease how much permanent gen progression you get from like 3 from however much it is by like a 0.5% reduction per token. I don't know. I just think it should be reduced a little bit.
Yeah, I could see that being best for it.
Yeah. I also have the description for self-preservation. It
Yeah, go
used to
for it.
be when the killer basic attacks someone within 18 meters, you wouldn't leave pools of blood, scratch marks, or make grunts of pain for 15, 20 seconds. It now reads that whenever a never survivor is hooked, the perk will activate, granting you elusive for 30 seconds.
Which is
Okay.
crazy,
Yeah,
right?
no, elusive
Elusive
Yeah,
is
inclusion.
no,
good.
it's anti-barbecue.
Yeah.
It's
Anti-barbecue.
you put it
Yes.
on, you don't have to think about barbecue, friends. I mean,
Yeah,
Or,
that's a good one.
alien instinct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alien Instinct.
Just give me back distortion. Just
Good
give it
changes.
back.
This is better
Yeah.
distortion.
Yeah. It is
Uh,
weird they nerfed it, being like, we want people to be in chase and not to just ignore the killer when the aura got red.
Yeah.
And then we're like, we're gonna rework this perk so it does literally the same thing. Bye.
the distortion rework would have been okay if there were other aura blocking perks, but it is the only one, or the primary one, other than maybe other things that are attacked on, like off the record and things. But like, it really is the only anti aura reading for survivors. So when there are so many aura reading perks for killers, like, it kind of sucks that it's the only one that got gutted. I mean, they get gutted. It just doesn't work as well as it used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can do the killer perks. I've got them pulled
Yeah,
up.
go for it. Yeah, we got 2 killer perk updates: Hex, Crowd Control, and Pop Goes the Weasel, which we mentioned
Yes.
earlier.
So old Hex Crowd Control used to read that when you had this perk equipped, Hook's totem would be lighted at the beginning of a trial, taking over a double totem, and it would do it so whenever a survivor vaulted a window, it would be blocked, and up to 5 windows can be blocked. However, they did some additional updates to this perk where now it reads whenever a survivor performs a rush action vault at a window, then the perk activates. So instead of starting with the perk, you have to wait for someone to vault and then it activates, and then it will block that window, and you can block up to 6 windows now. And additionally, you get to see all window auras within 24 meters, and your basic vault speed of a blocked window is increased by 15%. So pretty awesome.
Very nice.
Pretty good.
Incredible.
Pair well with Bamboozle.
Yes. I should add though, this perk will be disabled fully when it's cleansed, so you can't like cleanse the totem, have someone vault, and then it reactivates. Once it's cleansed, it's gone.
Yeah,
It's not like
unfortunate.
2 can play where it can relay itself multiple times.
And Pop got a nerf, which it's what? It's 20% now? 25?
Oh no, it went like a lot less. I think it's 15 currently. Let me just pull up the.
Whenever you hook a
perk. It used to
survivor
be
for the
25
next
or something?
45 seconds, when you damage a generator, it explodes and loses 15% more progress. Was 20%.
Yes.
15. Wow.
It was,
And that perk started at
it was
30?
20% of the current progress. So if you had like 100% of the generator and you kicked it, it would lose 20%. But if you had 50% of the generator and you kicked it, it would lose 10%. Now it's always losing 15%. So now when it's less than 75% completed, it's more better than it was before. But if the gen is like above 75%, it is a weaker pop. This is how the numbers work out. It's not just that they changed it from 20 to 15. It's 20 of the current versus 15 of total. It's math sucks.
Yeah.
It was always my least favorite in college and high school.
But pop is actually like better if you waste it now.
Yeah, I will say I do think turn back the clock is just better in all cases, specifically
Yeah.
because
Yes,
you don't
yes,
need to
yes.
kick the gen, and you can do it from a certain distance away. I was so wrong because I was like, why do that when you can just use pop and go kick it? Now it's like, even if you're
Yeah.
getting 5% less value, the fact that you can do it makes survivors scream and let go as well if they're working on it. It's so good. So yeah, if you have pop, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to buy Henry if you want to keep up. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I've
Ugh.
seen that perk used a lot more too since
Oh, I
since
love it.
Nerf.
So good.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. You get cool fire
It's
effects
really
too.
good, really convenient, right? Not have to go up to it.
Yes.
Aura customizations. This also came with this update. You can customize the auras. For anyone who's looking for it, because I looked for it today and it took me forever to find it. It is in the beta setting. So if I think you go to general and then go to beta, it is there. You can customize all aura colors except, which I noticed, you can't customize totems. Totem colors you cannot customize. I hope that's something they add in the future. But currently I think they're just default orange or something.
Yeah,
That'd
it's
be
a
nice to
weird like
change.
puke orange.
Yeah, really weird. And then they updated the default colors for like killer items. They're always white. Survivors are always blue. Killers always red. Et cetera, et cetera. So if you want to adjust those,
I haven't gone
go
in
there.
and changed them personally. Have anyone got new fun killer colors?
I
played
did.
around with it.
Yeah, I did today, and it was fun. I changed them to things that I think would stand out, kind of like my scratch marks. I made those purple because purple is gonna show up on any map, other than maybe the new one. But
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, but even then, I feel like that's gonna be pretty obvious because it's like bright purple scratch marks being like, and it's like, oh,
oh yeah,
I need to spend an hour just fiddling with those. I'll be
same
honest.
here. I'm
Yeah,
currently rocking
yeah.
pink scratch marks and blue gens. I feel like that's really nice.
Nice.
And also, blue gens stick out a lot to me, so I really like the blue gens.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like blue.
Luke, have
Blue's
you
my
played with
favorite.
your scratch mark colors or aura colors yet?
I'm not going to change it.
Yeah, keep it default. I told
Yeah, I'm just
myself like
leaving it
I
default.
think I like the default best. And
Classic.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
they made my survivors blue, and I don't think I can handle that. I don't think I can handle my barbecue being blue.
Yes. Yeah, me and my wife were playing the other day, and we were like, whoa, wait. Why are you blue?
Why are you blue?
I missed that. I didn't read that.
I think that might have to get me to change it. Is what I'm saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in there. Those colors are in there, so you're welcome to change them. And then finally, last but not least, we have new prestige menu and rewards. You can look at the track to unlock perks, the perk rarities, the bloody cosmetics, and then of course the badges at 25, 75, 50. I don't know why I skipped over 50 and 100. Is anyone going to be aiming? I already have a couple P100s, but is anyone aiming for a P100 for the Blood Moon event? Maddie?
I think you know who it is. Springtrap.
Oh, yeah.
I will
Yeah,
get him
we know who it
100.
is.
I swear to God.
Yeah, we'll get
the
we'll
next
get 'em
survivor
for
will
you.
be Nancy for sure. I'll
Oh,
get
Nancy,
yep.
I love her.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I definitely think
Yes.
like the badges look nice, and like the 25 prestige badge definitely looks great, and like you don't
Yeah.
need to go further than that. The like 150, 75 is really just for like the clout. But
Yeah,
I think it's a
100%.
lot of
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of clout to see somebody with that, especially if they have like
It's
the
really
P100
cool.
badge and then a matching
Mhm.
banner behind it, so that they got the whole theme
I
going.
worked hard for this P100
Mhm.
detective
Yes.
tab. I'm going to flaunt it.
Yes.
Yes. I can't remember who it was.
You
but
don't see those often.
I think it was
Yeah.
last night. I ran across someone who had like a P100 badge, and they had like the piss jar background or something.
Oh, that's
like
me.
That. I can't remember.
That was me. I had the
That was
P.
you!
I had the P25 pig with the piss
Oh, yeah,
jar
you were
background.
piss jar. That was you.
Although I will say, CV, that screenshot you sent of the badge and the banner looked really good though. I like the combo
It's
a
a,
lot.
Yeah.
you like
just-
the piss pig combo? Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I
Piss
wouldn't
pig.
order it like that, but okay, sure.
But like, yeah,
Just
I mean, I posted a
thematic, like
screenshot.
aesthetically, it was nice.
And like theoretically, you could replace the pig badge with any killer, probably female
Right.
or male, doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Whoever's in the jar.
Not who's ever in the jar. Not who's
God.
ever in the
Right,
jar.
whoever
well,
filled
as-
the jar. Sorry.
Oh God. Okay. Luke, I don't know if we asked, but who are your mains for Survivor and Killer? And do you have any P100s? I think you just mentioned Tap.
Yeah, so survivors are going to be Kate and Detective Tap. Those are my P100s right now. I'm working on
Hey.
Nancy.
Nice.
And then for killer, I've been playing a lot of Hillbilly lately.
Hillbilly.
A lot of
I got
Hillbilly.
one
Yeah.
from you.
Hillbilly's
I love
great
Hillbilly.
stuff. I love the Billy.
I love the first. And if I had to pick a
Yeah.
third one,
Yeah.
Nemesis for sure. Love Nemesis.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that's a
I
good.
definitely
Are you a
Uh,
Stranger Things fan?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was conformity gate all the way, all the way up to the Super Bowl. I was like, oh my god, my life is falling apart.
No. Oh no.
I mean, I did. I
no.
love
was-
the ending, but I just couldn't help but feel like, oh my god, it'd be
Mhm.
so cool if they did this. But I'm happy with it.
Yeah,
either
that would
way.
be cool. It would be cool.
I'm
Yeah.
healed. I'm healed.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
What were we gonna say, Maddie? There. Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, I was just gonna say I haven't finished Stranger Things final season, but I've heard a lot of scary things, so I'm just gonna say they're like, oh no.
Yeah,
And
yeah. It's been a
I
mixed
definitely have
bag
to
for
see
sure.
I definitely have to see the Hilly gameplay because I don't know if I've said it before in the podcast, but I'm trying to get all the achievements in Dead by Daylight, and one of them's like chainsaw 100 people as Hillbilly, and I suck as Hillbilly.
That
He's
one's
my
easy.
worst
Oh my
character
god, Maddie,
by
we
far.
gotta work on your Hillbilly.
Yeah, I gotta learn
That's
my
easy.
Hillbilly. It's like I hate playing as him, but he's so cool, and people are really good with
just-
him. I'm like, I want that skill.
I just love running the low pro chains and just hitting them through the pallet because they'll just stand there and look at me like, oh no, what? And
Oh
I'm like,
yeah.
I got low pro, buddy. Keep running. Keep it moving.
Nice, very nice. Yeah, I love playing against Hillbilly. I don't like playing as Hillbilly, but as a survivor, I love looping Hillbilly. It's a blast.
Yeah.
Always a good time.
I'll play Hillbilly and I'll get so committed to a chase. I'll just spend like 5 gens on one pallet, and they won't even drop the pallet because they know I'm not gonna M1. They know I'm just going for a chainsaw, and I
Yeah,
know that they're not gonna
chainsaw,
leave it
baby.
until I get
Straight
them.
chainsaw.
You get locked in this standoff where neither of you are leaving the loop until the game's over.
I'm not fucking leaving.
I want this chainsaw. I already sunk everything.
Committed.
Yeah.
Committed to the
Very
bit.
nice.
Exactly.
That is all we have for you listeners. That is the 9.5 update and the All Kills Comeback chapter. It is the last bit of content we have for the rest of the roadmap. Blood Moon is the last thing on the roadmap. The next will be the anniversary chapter, which is in a few months in June. And we'll have a lot more episodes until then, and we're going to do an anniversary predictions when that comes, and we're gonna do we'll do a review of the anniversary. Yeah, I'm excited to see what anniversary is. It's 10 years. It'll be a big one. Luke, before we kind of close out, one last question: do you have a dream anniversary chapter for year 10?
A
Oh, that's
dream
big.
anniversary chapter.
That's huge.
I mean, I'm going to say the Mummy. I just
Mummy.
so we can get the Mummy.
Good choice.
Like,
Always good
I don't
choice.
I don't even care if it's the movie with Brendan Fraser. If we get Emotep, that'd just be awesome. I would love it
That
so
would be
much.
so
Mhm.
cool. Yeah.
I
Brendan
put it
Fraser
on-
in DVD would be.
I put some
phenomenal.
concepts on my TikTok about like I tried to think of what perks the killer would get and what perks Rick would get, and I put a lot of thought into it. It's really fun. Just go check it out. I think it's pinned on my TikTok actually.
Ooh, definitely.
Yeah,
check
it's
that
very
out.
good. That was one of the first posts I saw from you. It was great. I love the Mummy. I recently rewatched it, and it was still holds up really well. Such a good
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
Excited for Mummy 4. Ah!
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, which apparently is supposed to be filming soon. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah,
Big,
I wanna see
big,
that.
big news.
I don't even care if it's bad. I need to see it.
Front row seats.
Right, I mean,
immediately.
I mean, if it's got Brendan Fraser in it, I'll watch it in a heartbeat.
be an
I don't
event.
care.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no, 100%.
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
Like roll the red carpet. We're going.
Hmm.
Before we let you all go, Luke, where can listeners find you if they want to see more of your content?
On TikTok and Twitch, Wednesdays and Sundays after 8:00 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes.
And that's soy sauce sorcerer underscore.
Soy sauce
right?
sorcerer. Yes, there is an underscore there. Soy sauce sorcerer
Awesome.
underscore.
Yeah, we'll also have links to your accounts in the description. So please go check
Oh,
out Luke.
thank you.
Y'all.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Luke, for joining us. This was a great episode. I had a blast talking about this discussion. We'd love to have you on again in the future. We always like to bring on guests back because that's always a good time. Listeners and viewers, go check out Luke on all of his platforms. And thank you, Maddie. Thank you, Stevie. Thank you, Luke. And we'll see you all in the fog next week.
Thanks,
Bye,
Bryson.
everyone.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you. That's
Bye,
so much
everyone.
fun.